Hello and welcome to Australian Transformers Weekly. We are the quintessential Transformers podcast. I forgot we wrote that note into the run sheet last week. Bringing you Transformers. I'm going to change it for next time. Bringing you Transformers news from around the world and across Australia. I'm sorry, Bradley. That's
my one contribution.
I know. This is the only time we got you to open the run sheet. This is episode 239. We are recording live on Friday, June 25th. 2021. This week we will be transforming. We will be transforming something. I know there's something on the desk in front of me. We will be talking about Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. It's the new movie that's been announced. We'll cover all the news coming up to it. We've got a lot of Transformers have suddenly turned up in Australia this week as world first. So we'll talk about those, and we've got some new acquisitions to cover. All that and more is coming up after this. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Jason, coming to you live from lockdown Sydney. Don't call it a lockdown, everyone. We also have joining me from the other side of the country in a lockdown-free zone because you don't let anyone in. Bradley, how are you doing over there, sir?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. Every time we do the introduction, like since we started doing the music, I keep thinking to myself, you know, I wonder if they'll notice if I were to change shirts.
I don't know. I mean, we might notice you changing shirts, but yeah. I don't know.
I change shirts while the still's up and the music's playing.
Do you just
and then we come back and I'm just like.
Do you just like spin around really fast and like suddenly, you know, like the Bolt bloke?
Yeah, I'm not the Bolt bloke.
That's what people come for. It's the 80s Australian television references. Coming to us from Melbourne. It has been a while since we've had Mr. Alan Jones on the podcast, and it's very important to say that he's not the Alan Jones that frequents 2GB. He's shaking his head there. How are you doing, Alan?
I'm doing well, yes, and we all know about lockdowns here, so I'll tell you all about it.
It's true. You're very well versed in lockdowns, and I gotta say, everyone on Twitter from Victoria is certainly giving it to New South Wales at the moment. Quite possibly deservedly so. We'll see how we go with that. But yeah, we'll see whether or not this is really a week long. I believe it's a stay-at-home order is the correct term for us up here. Now, I thought that the area that I live in was actually subject to this, but I've been told that it's not, and I can actually go out to have breakfast in the morning, so that works for me.
Excellent. I got to go out to a big W.
Is this going to affect your acquisitions later on when we talk about acquisitions?
Well, you know, when you've been in lockdown, you suddenly get a chance to go to a big W Transformer sale. You just can't help yourself.
I believe it's not specifically a Transformers sale, but if you believe most of the people in the group, that's the only thing that's actually worth purchasing at the Big W Toy Mania sale.
Yeah.
So fair enough. That's okay. We can roll with that. Bradley, have you been frequenting Big W Toy Mania sales?
I got my Rodimus Prime before the in-store sales start. I got it at online, so I went and picked that up, and I did go in, I think, the day after the in-store sale started, and sort of like typical of most everyone else's reporting, all leader class toys are gone, and there's like slim pickings of most everything else.
So the leader class toys are $44 at the Big W sale. So like it's a pretty good deal. You expect them to clean out very quickly. I will, however, just point out that I also went to the Big W sale. I've gone to a couple of them. You know, no big deal. There's a couple of Big W stores within like distance that someone can pick up and drive me from here. And I found absolutely fuck all. You're right. All the leader class figures are gone except for Studio Series 86 Grimlock. Already got him. Don't need another one. There's a lot. There's a lot of Grimlocks on the shelves. Like just
you could get a couple, Jason, and sell them because there's none here in Perth.
Well, so this is the thing, right? Like I was thinking of picking up some of the toys and taking them to the toy fair sales, but like if I do that, then it's just depriving people who might want them of actually going and buying them. So I was like, well, I may as well just leave them there.
Yeah.
So the big debut toy sale is on. I got to be honest. When we've been going out to the sales to have a look for them, we've mainly been looking for a Galvatron. But yeah, Galvatron. We'll talk about Galvatron shortly. There is something else that happened this week that I want to talk about as well. And I got to bring in the screen share to talk about this because holy cow, we had Supernova in Sydney. Wow. We had Supernova in Sydney last week, and this week we have a COVID outbreak. I'm not saying the two are connected.
What's the correlation there?
I'm not saying the two are connected, but I did have a COVID test this week.
It happened in Victoria too, just the same, actually.
You're right. It did, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Perth has postponed. Or
Perth has been postponed because the Supernova. So there's a couple of things that have gone on with Supernova that we should talk about, right? So first of all, Supernova got into a bit of a PR, let's say, disaster when a particular store in the event was identified as selling fascist and Nazi paraphernalia.
Ooh.
And big problem. So they were told about it and they did not kick them out until the following day, which has led a lot of people involved with Supernova to sever ties with it. Now, at the same time, Supernova's put on an event in a city that is pretty much heading into a coronavirus outbreak, and so they're no longer the staff who are in Sydney are not allowed to go to Perth.
The quarantine and stuff.
Yeah, quarantine requirements and stuff. So basically, they can't run the event in Perth, so they've had to postpone it. Bit unfortunate. There is, of course, the question of how many staff from Supernova Sydney are actually left to run the Perth event. But let's not go too far into that because that's extremely unpleasant. I will say that the person who runs I don't even want to name them. The stall in question did come by and did talk to me on the TCCA stand and was decidedly unpleasant. I didn't really enjoy speaking to them.
Oh.
They had a T-shirt on with a really offensive slogan, and they just knew that they were walking around trying to stir up controversy and stir up people. So glad to see that they were gone the following day. Understand that a lot of people are annoyed at the amount of time that it took to kick them out. However, Supernova was a lot of fun. It's the first Supernova that I've been to for quite a while. It's the first one that's been in Sydney for quite a while because we didn't get to have one last year because of the COVID pandemic. But very nicely, Supernova gave us a nice big area to set up our wares, and we needed the big area because we had Unicron on display, and in fact, so we've done our trick of sort of giving people the Matrix to hold in front of them and getting a lot of people posing with the Matrix. So you can see I've got a lot of the photos up, doing screen grabs. Mikey also learned how to wield a lightsaber, as you can see here. So that was pretty dangerous. I got the hell out of the way when Mikey came back to the stand with a lightsaber, and yeah, lots and lots of people. Some cosplayers came by, and people had lots to say and look at when it came to the stand. Also, Cobra Commander came by and was decidedly busy. He looked at his phone a lot. And then he took the time to threaten me, and it was it was a fun time. He also he annexed the stand. Okay,
I was just thinking it must be difficult for him to have private conversations.
Well, then he opened the Matrix, so we don't really know what the hell was going on. All bets are off at that point. So yeah, anyway, fun was had. If I can click the right thing, can I do it? Here we go. Wait a second. We got Baron Zemo to dance for us with the Matrix.
Okay.
So that was a bit fun, and I really tried to get Cobra Commander's attention, but he wasn't having it. So yeah. Look, Supernova was a lot of fun, despite the silly unpleasantness that happened with that particular stand. That's not really that much to do with us, but it was really lovely to see so many people come up, and we had a spike in memberships for the weekend. I say membership, I mean people signing up to the Facebook group. There was a good number of people came up and discovered the group for the first time. Had a lovely chat about Transformers. I had a lot of pictures. Oh dear, there's Cobra Commander without his mask on. I had a lot of Transformers on display from the Lost Light series and the More Than Meets the Eye comic, and I was really happy that I made the decision to do that, because a lot of people came by and they wanted to talk about More Than Meets the Eye and Lost Light, and talk about inclusivity and all of these things that comic series really promoted and what it meant to them. So I was really happy to put that up and reach out to some people. So yeah, I thought it was lovely. So Alan, you had Supernova in Melbourne a few weeks ago. Did you go along to that? I know Simon and Jonathan were there.
Yeah, I couldn't actually get along to that one, but actually this was the first one I couldn't. But if if the next convention happens, I'm available. I'll put my hand up. But I mean, it's a shame. But they did a good job. They had 2 Unicrons obviously going. So
I know. Yeah, I know. Look, we only had one. I know, but you know.
Oh no, but you did a great job. I mean, from your photos, I mean, you should be proud. That's really good community spirit going on there. That's what we're all about.
It was really nice. A lot of the time, we actually had people maybe a couple of people deep around the stand, and we were actually like almost swamped a couple of times. Like, it was really good. I passed a couple of nervous glances over to the display a couple of times just to make sure that the rarer bots were still there. So I made the decision to put a lot of retail bots on the display because that's what people will find in stores if they go looking at the moment. I did manage to really upset someone who came by and he saw Run Amok and Runabout sitting there side by side on the stand, and he was really upset because he thought that Runabout was an online hoax and didn't really exist because it had been so hard for people to find. So he was really upset to find it on display in the stand in the flesh or in the plastic, as it were. What else? Oh yeah, so there was one point where a fairly young kid, I'm going to say maybe 8 or 9 years old, I think, possibly a little bit younger, came by and just wouldn't stop touching the bots on the stand, despite so I put the retail bots out expecting people to pick them up and touch them. That's okay, but his mum would constantly tell him not to pick things up, and he just kept picking them up. So I'm like, well, yeah, okay. And at one point I was on one side of the stand and I looked over and I let out an audible gasp because he had Runabout in his hand and was transforming him, and I was like, that's the one thing on the stand that I can't reply. I looked at him like, actually, he's got it about 80% done, so yeah, fair enough. He's doing well. Like for all of the bots that he picked up, despite his mum telling him not to, and he had to go out transforming them, he mostly did it. So it was fine. I shouldn't have been worried about it, but it's just a funny way to tell the story, really. So yeah, Supernova was a lot of fun. Really, really enjoyed meeting people. It's been a while since we've been to Sydney Supernova, so it was really good to, I guess, reconnect with the local community and get in touch with people. And new fans, and bring more people in. So Yeah. Now, I do need to put up a comment from Mr. Mark Jones. If Cobra Commander opened the Matrix, does Starscream have the power? It's a very interesting question. Can Starscream open the Matrix? Does anyone think that he could?
No, he would be a ghost and he wouldn't be able to pick it up.
It's true. It's true. By the time the Matrix is even known, Starscream's dead. So yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Too bad, Starscream. Starscream did get a new body given to him by Unicron, but
Yep.
Well, I mean, they really left that sort of loose end just flapping in the breeze.
They did.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. I think it's about time for us to talk about some news of the week and possibly news of the week.
Fortnite?
So in fact, no, because I'm thinking about the stories that we do have coming up, and it's definitely news of the week. So,
Okay.
without further ado, I'm going to put the screen share back in, and we're going to lead up with some news of new figures that are hitting Australian store shelves this week. It's happened. Was it 1, 2, 3? Actually, it keeps happening. And some of them I have in here and some of them I don't. So Generation Select Transmutate has hit Australia. She's been distributed out to some customers from EB Games already, and others have been able to go in store and pick her up. As you can see here, we've got photos from Corey Fenton's post in TCCA just this morning. So showing what she looks like in the box there. Very neon blue. And neon blue and gold theme there. So is Transmutate something that you guys are going to be picking up?
I've already got 2 of her. Not this toy, though.
Got it? Oh, okay. Oh,
not this toy, yeah.
What is the old card?
So she's a repaint of is it Paleotrex? Brother? I was hoping you might know. She's a repaint of one of the fossilizers. There's a new head design, but generally everything else is just some things are painted bright blue.
It's there for the completionists.
In fact, looking at the photo here, I was going to say that I think it's actually been molded in bright blue and then painted gold in some places.
Oh, so, gold plastic.
It hadn't really occurred to me actually, but there's a trio of brightly coloured fossilizers in the Kingdom lineup. There's Transmutate, Tricranius also counts, and also the purple Paleotrex that came with the Megatron spoiler pack. So there's a few neon coloured fossilizers out there for people to collect now. This is Transmutate. We did talk a little bit about her at announce time. As I said, if you ordered her from EB Games, you should be able to pick her up in store. I think she might have been on Amazon for ordering as well, but official release around Asia appears to be July 1st, so we've gone about a week early. While we're talking about official releases being July 1st for things, we also have seen Shattered Glass Blur turn up. This is, I think, probably the first time we've actually seen the Shattered Glass box in the flesh, or in the plastic, or in the cardboard, so to speak. This particular photo hit this morning. This is from Zing Pop Culture at Chermside in Queensland. So he's a deluxe class figure. He's a repaint with a new head sculpt. So it's quite expensive for a deluxe at $45. But if you're into Shattered Glass, yeah, you've probably already got this guy on pre-order. I am really looking forward to getting this. I will have some units coming in. There's some units coming in soon, and I've also got some on order from Amazon. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. Are you guys going to be getting Shattered Glass?
At the risk of you hating me even more, Jason, I've already got the BotCon one from 2008.
I think the packaging is really good. If they redo, say, like the Prime in that something like that packaging, if the whole line.
I'm sorry. Did someone just have like a car go past there?
That wasn't me.
Alan, are there burnouts happening in your neighbourhood?
I heard it in the microphone. I didn't hear. Yeah, who knows? Maybe.
Fair enough.
What was I saying? Yeah, the packaging art's great. I think if they made a consistent Shadowglass line, say even a redone Prime, like that.
So you want them to sort of bring up the Shadowglass Prime and Ratchet set from last year and release them individually in this
I think they should. I think they will. Maybe I think it's a maybe on that one.
I think it is a maybe. There was one Shadowglass reveal this week, and there's one to go from this set. But I think if the set's popular, then the door's definitely open next year. Especially, we're hearing that next year's line, rumored to be called Transformers Legacy, or at least a next trilogy. In fact, should include characters from different generations. So that sort of gives them a little bit more license to sort of to shove characters into Shadowglass variations as well. So. We'll see how that goes, but we'll talk about that one when it comes up.
A future Netflix Shadowglass, who knows?
Oh goodness, that was I was going to say that would be so much better than what we've had so far, but let's not jinx it, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
In terms of in other news, things that have come out, I don't think I've actually got a photo of this one. So, Studio Series 86 Slug and Daniel, and their Wavemate leader, Studio Series Grinder and Ravage. They are also out in Australia. You can get them at Toy World stores for $90. We have seen a report that Kingdom Tracks has been found in a Big W store. Now, it's kind of weird if it's only Kingdom Tracks, because these things generally come in a box with 4 figures times 2. So if Tracks has been seen, then everything else in Wave 3 should have been seen and may have been acquired by some lucky people who just didn't pick up Tracks at the time. So we've seen a report about Tracks, but I don't think anyone in TCCA has actually picked up Tracks from Big W. And we are seeing Galvatron make his way out to Big W stores during the Big W sale. However, we do need to caution you if you do go and pick up Galvatron, and it's very tempting because he is $44 being a leader class figure. That's cheaper than a Voyager figure usually would be, but you need to be careful of the shoulder assembly on him. You don't have to be that careful. If it doesn't bother you, it's fine, because he only transforms into a cannon. But there is definitely there is definitely an issue with the shoulders. Now, you can see here that some shoulders sit above the chest line and other shoulders sit below it. So the ones on the right are misassembled, and you'll be able to tell by looking at where the line on the front of Galvatron's chest sits versus the shoulders. What we are seeing is that stock from Asia and stock from Australia, they're all misassembled. Stock in the USA appears to be correctly assembled. So if you really want Galvatron and you want him to be perfectly assembled, you might have to import one from the US. Or I kind of feel like if there's a repack of Galvatron later on, so Kingdom Ultra Magnus has been sent out in 2 waves. So Galvatron might also be sent out in a subsequent wave. I think they might do a running change to fix it, but I don't have any proof of that. So maybe hold fire unless the $44 price point is something that overbalances your desire for a correctly assembled Galvatron.
That's for me. If I actually do see it at $44, I'll be picking it up. The assembly can be corrected.
Yes, that's right.
So it's not a huge thing for me. I have disassembled things before and corrected factory issues, so I'm not hugely concerned about it.
Look, you shouldn't have to do it, but there are plenty of guides online that show you how to do it if you do decide to go for it.
Yeah, exactly. This is just... this is Galvatron. This is like the first awesome Galvatron G1 toy we've seen, ever.
It's been a while between drinks for decent Galvatron toys.
Yep.
Yeah.
There'll be a repaint, surely, I'm guessing. There always has been.
There is a rumor that there will be a toy-coloured Galvatron coming in Gen Select later this year.
Yeah.
And there has been digi-bashes of it done in those colours.
Yeah, and hopefully if that's the case, he won't have the battle damage as well, but we'll see how it goes.
Apparently the the battle damage can be removed with alcohol, but
I have seen a photograph of a Galvatron with the battle damage removed, and it seems to go pretty well. You do need to be a little bit careful with some of the figures. So I've seen reports of the new Netflix Deluxes also actually out in Australia. I didn't actually put them in, but the Netflix Wave 3 Deluxes, they are available at Kmart stores. The spoilers. They are running out of stores pretty fast, so if you can't find it, like, you may end up having to get them online as well. But you got to be careful with those guys, because if you want to remove the paint damage and the weathering on them, you might find that you'll be stripping the entire paint job off them. So figures like Deep Cover has actually been found to be grey with a blue paint job with the weathering on it. So if you try to remove his weathering, you'll end up removing the blue from his bonnet as well.
Yeah, so definitely if you're on the fence and you think, if I could just remove the weathering, do your research. Because if you try to remove the weathering, you might actually be trying to remove the part you want to keep.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, got to be a little bit careful of them. Finally, while we're talking about local releases, a little note that we found tonight that Rodimus Prime has been price matched on Amazon to the Big W sale price of $109. It's a great turnout. If you order it from Amazon now, he will be shipped to you mid-July, which is not too bad. That's prior to the end of the Big W sale. The sale goes on for some time. But we've always seen that people have issues picking up the Commander class figures at Big W sales, so it's good to have another option. And also, if you've got Amazon Prime, that's $109 with free shipping.
Yeah, that's good. I did see 3 on shelf today.
Oh, really? The click and collect for me was very, very uneven, I would say, because I was looking at it. So the day I got it, I looked at it in the morning, and there wasn't really any sort of near me. So I was thinking, maybe I'll get it and, drive the extra distance. But then I had an appointment, so I came home after that, and I was like, okay, I'm going to drive the distance, and I'm going to get it. And then I checked again, and it was in stock at the one down the road.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
And then I checked it again the day after, and it was out of stock like everywhere for click and collect.
Yeah, but it's what we've been saying. It might fluctuate throughout over the course of the day as well. We don't really know how often their stock counter updates as well.
Yeah, it's also weird because like, you guys have been to the Big W toy sale, and you know how they have like the information desk that's specifically for toys, so you can say, "Hey, I'm looking for this," and they can give you the direction.
What?
Yeah.
No.
What?
Big W stores have like a
no, they
like a
don't.
Little... Yes, they do. They do for my Big W stores.
I think this is something only your store has.
That's the guy at the DVD counter.
Yeah, do they just see you coming and just like stand up a quick counter and like, this here quickly, we're not going to set this up. Bradley's going to come in and ask about toys.
No, I've only used it once, and that was when I went to get Triptychon. I couldn't find it, and they said they actually have they have the sale brochure in front of them, and then they say, "I'm after this," and they open it up. And they got written in pen, like the exact location where it is. Okay, so go to Home Entertainment, you'll find it there, and that's what happened.
I've been in so many Big W stores, and I've never seen a desk, especially for the toy sale. Mark Jones says that you're not insane. He says it's usually on the back wall where they do the lay-bys. So is it adjacent to the normal service desk? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's so where you walk in, it's sort of just there, at the entrance to the store.
Surely, I don't know. I haven't seen this. I was in a store today, and there was nothing like that.
But the weird thing is, what I wanted to say was, one of the stores had Rodimus Prime, but for some reason it was under that desk. So I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, we've heard about this as well. We've heard about them being put away by staff at the counter and stuff. But I can do that. I've done that. I called up when I got mine a few weeks ago. I called up and got them to put some aside for me. So it happens. Yeah.
I was just like, because if I hadn't found this one online, I could have just, because the desk that they use isn't like a service desk or anything. It's just a table with a cardboard cutout saying Toy Mania. So I could have just reached under the desk, grabbed one, and no one would have said, "Hey, don't."
I mean, it's a toy.
I think it was. I think it was stock that they just forgot to put on display.
Oh man,
I don't think it was on
it's
hold for
crazy.
anyone.
It's crazy. Yeah, fair enough.
Paid for it. I mean,
Yeah. yeah. I mean, look, as long as you pay for it, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not saying I would have stolen. I just would have, taken it from this place where it's not on display and just bought it.
Fair enough. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard this week or not. I mean, like, it's a little bit of niche news. You might not have heard it. There's a new Shadowglass figure has been announced.
Okay.
Pretty happy with this. Like, Shadowglass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a sec. Hang on. Here we go. Bradley.
What?
Bradley. What are you? Oh, I thought you were going to pick up your Shadowglass Bumblebee to show off. No, instead he's picked up a drink bottle. But fair enough.
There is no Shadowglass Bumblebee.
Oh yeah, because it's Shadowglass Hotshot, isn't it? Or
Gold
something
Bug.
like that. Gold Bug. Yeah, Gold Bug. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. So yes, it's Shadowglass Gold Bug has been announced, and God, he looks pretty hot. He's yet another.
We're not seeing it,
repaint.
Jason.
Oh well, no, you're not. I'll put it up in the. Let's put that in there. He's yet another repaint of the Earthrise Cliff Jumper, Bumblebee, Hubcap, and Bugbite mold. But goodness me, what a repaint he is. He's got black and gold paint on him. There's parts that have never really shown up as painted on these figures before. He's got a new head sculpt, so he's black with gold and gold highlights and even blue highlights in there as well. And he's pretty damn sexy, I think. What do you guys reckon?
He's making me hopeful, and I've seen people comment about this, that we might actually get a Goldbug toy, like a regular Universe Goldbug.
Interesting. Maybe that's something that might come up next year in the Legacy line. Like I feel like they're not done with all these molds. I also had Rob Franklin echoing our video chat on Wednesday night. Black Gold Texas Tea. Very good. Shadowglass Gold Bug.
Yeah, they've done a good job. They put some thought into the distribution of the colours. I mean, there has been some black and gold, other versions of Bumblebee, like the stealth modes and like the ones in the Prime and various things like that. So I think it's pretty good. That's nice. The car.
Yeah, the alt mode really looks the part now. Like previously the alt mode just sort of looked, it's a red car or something, but the black with the gold highlights on it for the alt mode just really make it pop, I think.
It
Looks like what's it, Knight Rider?
He certainly does. Like he looks like any kind of black sci-fi car, really, doesn't he?
It's a bit of G2 mixed with Knight Rider.
Yeah, very true. And he can, it's basically what you're saying is it's G2 Knight Rider. Very good. And of course he can do the ski trick as well. Not that Shadowglass Goldbug skis, but yes. So there's a picture of what he'll look like in the box there, and so we mentioned earlier that this guy is the fourth of the 5 announced figures. Well, they haven't announced the 5th one, but so we've got Blur, who's out today in Australia, Starscream, who is also actually coming out pretty soon in Asia, at least. Blur and Starscream are both due on July 1st. Megatron and Goldbug will be due later in the year, and we are hearing that the 5th Shadowglass figure is likely to be Jetfire. Now, if that's really true, like if it's true and it's actually the Commander class Jetfire, and it could be a different Jetfire, who knows? But if it's Jetfire, wow, pretty impressive. And in fact, you know what? The paranoid part of me has actually just realised what they'll do for Shadowglass Jetfire if they don't want to actually do Commander class.
What's that? Tetrajet?
No.
Earthrise?
What's the Transformers Top Gun collab, Maverick?
Oh,
it's a mold that's never been used, and it would kind of suit Jetfire. I don't know. I wonder.
What's the scale class for Maverick?
So he's kind of a Voyager.
Okay.
But that's just me fucking with you, right? Because we have heard that there is a second Commander class figure coming up for release later this year, and we didn't really know what it was until these rumors came out, and they started to become proven true. And Goldbug was on the rumor list as well. So the last figure on the list that was rumored earlier this year is Jetfire. So the only Jetfire figure that's been recently released would be the Commander class. So it kind of matches up. But at the same time, I also wouldn't be surprised to just see a weird spin and not break out of the Deluxe and Voyager size class for Shadowglass if they were to do that.
I'm just thinking that it's weird. It would be weird for a Commander class toy to be in such a niche collector's set.
Yeah, it would be weird. Look, having said that, I'm really looking forward to getting the Shadowglass Jetfire, and I think a lot of people in Australia will be looking forward to getting their hands on any of the Commander class Jetfires, because it's really hard to get here.
Yeah, pretty much. I think my friend sourced one for me from the Amazon sale, so I never really sort of.
You never really lived the problem. Ben Seamer said that he's going to be a Cyberverse Jetfire redo. Dan, you're going the other way. No,
there'll be lots of glass shattered in anger if that was true.
It's true. Yeah. Let's move on. I forgot that story was in the run sheet.
Let's say you don't want to. There's the original.
Hang on. Let me put you on.
Did you want to do the photo I put up, or do you reckon that one?
I don't have the photo. Sorry.
It's in the Facebook chat.
Yeah, I know, but I don't have the Facebook chat there.
They did a good job.
I think they've actually done a really good job of bringing in the elements of that figure and putting them onto the Bumblebee mold.
Well, here's just a comparison. There's Bumblebee,
yeah.
And here's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, what you gonna do when Shadowglass Goldbug runs wild on you,
brother?
Shadow you.
Yeah, shadow you.
With these 24-inch pythons.
Now, the story that I was going to introduce to you, look, I don't know if you've heard about it or not.
I'm still on the.
You are too. But, I mean, you can be.
Oh, if you want me to.
But so I don't know if you've heard about it or not. But there is a new. I need to. Sorry, I'm doing this because I'm stalling because I'm trying to get the right freaking tab.
Yeah,
you went through all these before.
I did. But here we go. There's a new movie. Oh, it's been I don't know if you've heard. It's kind of niche news. They're calling it Transformers. Let me check the notes. Rise of the Beasts. Oh. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, Rise of the Beast. So Paramount this week decloaked one of the long gestating Transformers movie projects. We've had lots of things swirling about over whether or not the movie is a sequel or sequel to Bumblebee, or if it sits on its own, or if it's fully animated or not. Quite a bit of news has come out this week. Paramount held a virtual launch event. So we heard that Rise of the Beasts will feature all of the factions: Autobots, Decepticons, Maximals, and Predacons. It will have a more traditional Transformers style budget, a big summer blockbuster budget, rather than the limited budget that went on Bumblebee. And it will also have Terracons. The Terracons have their own agenda, and they're working for a big villain that's even higher on the totem pole, because of course we have Unicron, like whatever. They've gone into a bunch of information about different characters that are coming in. There's RC, there's Nightbird, there's Scourge, Optimus Prime, of course, Rhinox, Air Razor, and there's a lot of there's a lot of information about these guys in plot summaries and things like that making their way around. Stephen Capel Jr. was named a while ago as the director of this installment of the franchise, and he's started to sort of come out and do a bit of press about the film. It's going to be set in the 90s, so it's set after Bumblebee. It's set after Bumblebee, but it's set before the Michael Bay movies, and it seems that Paramount's just reluctant to really let the Bay movies go. But it's set in the 90s. Now, I think so there's talk that Unicron will be in the movie. So fair enough. That'll be interesting.
I think that could be the decider.
Well, so here's the thing. I've worked out what happens. I've worked out what's happening. Right. I didn't want to tell everyone in the pre-show, but I've worked it out. Paramount and the Transformers franchise are following the rules of the MCU when it comes to time travel. We, the audience, are the ones traveling back in time, and every time we travel back in time, we create an alternate timeline. So we've gone back to the 80s and we created an alternate timeline in Bumblebee, and now we've gone to the 90s and we're creating another alternate timeline, which Unicron will pop up. Transformers beasts will be all over the planet, and by the time of 2007, no one will remember them because they were in a different timeline because of us. It's us. It's our fault.
Yeah, they pretty much. Yeah, they've done the was it Fox X-Men rule?
Yeah,
if you do like a really shitty sequel, you just start setting the movies in the distant past.
Mm-hmm.
That way, it ripples up, and then everything's gone.
Yeah. The things that happen in the past affect the future, and then suddenly the original 3 movies are gone.
Yeah,
that's great. Now, there's been quite a bit said about this. There is going to be apparently there's going to be a massive. So Optimus Primal is going to be huge. He's going to be more King Kong size apparently. Rhinox is the brains of the group. Airazor looks similar to a real world bird and has blue glowing eyes. RC has a robot mode that's so there's both beast formers and sort of G1 transformers as well. So RC now turns into a motorcycle, which people who were present for the launch event say it looks pretty great. So yeah, it doesn't look anything like previous RCs that we've seen. Now,
there's no screenshots for this new RC, or no?
Nobody was allowed to take any photos.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if it's going to be like Prime RC or the Bayverse RCs, which are just standing on wheels and then their upper body sort of over there a bit.
Apparently it's nothing like the TF1 or Revenge of the Fallen toy line, which is what you're describing. So I'd say she's probably going to be more like a Prime. So
cool.
That's what I'm saying. We have also heard that Moving Picture Company, who did the visual effects for The Lion King, they are going to be doing a lot of CGI work. I mean, no surprise, they'll be doing the work for the Beasts in Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. So it will be interesting to see what they bring to the table in animating robots that are disguised as beasts, pretending to be beasts on a planet where they're not meant to be. Anyway,
that's gonna be weird because in the cartoon Beast Wars, they had to be beasts to protect themselves from the excessive energon levels.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder why they're beasts in the mid-90s.
I predict time travel will be involved. The sequence of time traveling where they go back and then they come back or something.
Oh yeah.
What we haven't really spoken about is that I mean, it's not really too much of a surprise, but main character will be our Optimus Prime, as voiced by Peter Cullen.
Cool.
There was some talk after the Bumblebee movie that Cullen wanted Prime to have his own movie, and I I think they've sort of gone, well, we can make the next movie all about you, and that's kind of the same thing as giving you an Optimus Prime movie. So what we've heard is that Cullen, Paramount and Co have said that Cullen can do Prime for as long as he wants to. So yeah, like that man has a very secure job. He only has to give up the job when he wants to. So yeah,
let's just hope he'll kill Prime and they pass the Matrix onto Optimus Primal in the movie. Hey.
Oh god, I'm just hoping that maybe Optimus Prime will be voiced by Gary Chalk. It'll be nice to have him back in Optimus Primal.
I think there's a good chance that they might bring some of the iconic voices from Beast Wars in for it. I think there's a recognition from Paramount now that they should probably not mess with the voice casting, and that fans expect the characters to sound a certain way.
Well, it's just we know these characters by their voices.
A lot of I mean, we know them by their look as well, but in fact, the looks will probably be quite different.
And the toys.
The toys, well, don't know. We've got Kingdom toys with a lot of these figures as beasts this year. We'll see what happens in the next couple of years. Most importantly, the release date is it's only a year away. So all of the effects work is going to be done. I don't know if they've actually started shooting yet or not. Yeah, yes, the effects will all be rushed. But yeah, so June 24th, 2022, which is why this event was held this week, is because it's pretty much putting a stake in the ground and saying 1 year from now there's going to be a new Transformers movie. So
does that mean if it's within a year, does that mean production has already started, or
surely?
We've heard various things. We've heard various things about that, whether or not they're actually shooting. I believe they're shooting in a few places. So I think they're actually shooting in Montreal.
Okay.
So, yeah. They're shooting in Montreal, and I'm not sure if that's actually where they've managed to set some of the movie or not. But yeah. So there's a lot of things that have come out about it, and there was also, unfortunately, Lorenzo de Bonaventura also issued a special message to Chinese fans of the Transformers franchise, because Lorenzo...
Are we meant to be seeing something?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't really want to give Lorenzo any airtime. Lorenzo's kind of an idiot. So basically, Lorenzo asked Chinese Transformers fans to please spend their money on the movie, because they're kind of the reason that Transformers has survived at the cinema for so long. So he said, hello to all great friends and fans in China. Transformers has always had a very special relationship with China. And we're so happy to bring you the next version of it. It's got big scale, it's got heart, and it's got a ton of humour, which is basically things that could have been said about the Michael Bay movies. Anyway.
That can be said about any movie.
Yes.
Tons of heart and humour. Like even like Schindler's List. You can say that.
Wow. Wow. Look, I wanna just sort of like bring it down. Like I'm just going to put myself up on screen for a minute, okay? Right. I just want to
sexy time.
I just want to talk to Stephen. All right. So Stephen, yeah, it's just the two of us here. Like it's okay. I just want to talk to you, Transformers fan, to well, whatever it is you are. I mean, you say you say you're a fan, that's fine, but I don't really know how much you cried when Optimus Prime died in the 80s. I don't know. See, I mean, Bradley, obviously, Bradley is still crying to this day. But look, we get it. You're new, and you want to impress the boss. But here's the thing. Nobody's really that happy about the Bay movies, so you don't have to be careful about treading on them. Like, you can get rid of the Bay movies. It's okay. Like, we give you permission to excise the Michael Bay movies and tread all over them from a continuity perspective and do whatever the hell you want, right? This is just, like it's special dispensation. If you needed permission from the fans, I'm giving you permission to do this. At the same time, we're also confused about Bumblebee, right? Because we liked Bumblebee, but we don't really know if we should invest anything in it, because like the setting and the characters, they've kind of just been wiped away, right? Like, we're talking about this movie that's being set in the 90s now, and at no point does anyone think, maybe we should go and check on Charlie, see how she's doing. Like, surely Bumblebee would want to at least be pen pals with Charlie, perhaps. Like, I don't know. I mean, look, I get it. Haley Steinfeld's going to be big star by now, and so maybe you can't get her for the movie. So fair enough. And Lorenzo, he's kind of an idiot. Just don't do press conferences with him, or at least maybe just stay at least 50 yards away from him, please. Just in case you get sucked into his vortex of stupidity. Okay? So look, if you can do that, you can keep us on side. Just turn up, say the right things, make the fans happy. Maybe, just maybe, there's a future in the franchise for you. All right? We're going to check in later, okay? Oh, and it's okay. Nobody's going to get a copy of this. It's just between you and I. Right.
Well, there you go.
Oh, man, I've never slept better.
Yeah, sorry. Like, I just needed to...
I was just gonna say, you can pretty much sum it all up with just one simple thing. Cast Megatron. That will be what breaks you from the Bayverse.
Not if he's beast mode Megatron, it won't be.
Well, yeah, I mean, G1 Megatron, obviously. So cast him. I mean, you could say, hey, we've got Megatron in this movie. People think it's G1, fine. People think it's Beast, fine. But you've got yourself a way out of the Bayverse by having a conscious Megatron.
A conscious Megatron is the... Who knew that having Megatron be awake is actually the thing that can cure us from the Bay movies? And also, you say this now, but they'll do it, and then at the end of the movie, something will happen, and he'll like drift back off to sleep, or just nighty night. It'll be like Mario in the Mario games when you leave him alone for like.
Well, no, because they did establish they did establish that Megatron was under the dam for quite a while. They moved him there.
Did it? I know, but like maybe John Cena got busy and forgot to check in on him in the 90s.
Nah. People would remember it. There would be Transformers tech around. But actually, no, because they reverse engineered a lot of stuff from Megatron.
They did. Or who knows? Yeah. Look, it's getting a little bit messy, and this is why I think the simplest explanation for this is that we are following the MCU time travel rules. We've created new realities by traveling back to the 80s and the 90s. That's it. It's easy, right? It's easy. That's the only thing that you need to worry about for an explanation of how this all works.
Yeah, it's just I think like when I saw the Michael Bay movies, I was like, what the fuck is this? And when I saw Bumblebee, it had a different feel to it. It was like this is a story that's being crafted and being told by people that respect the franchise and are not just trying to tick the boxes of an action movie summer blockbuster.
This could be very true indeed. Maybe I don't know.
They can still do it. They can still have an arc crash there. Just the future Optimus crashes back in the past, time travel, whatever, and they can come up with anything just to make.
Sorry,
it happy.
Did you just say future Optimus crashes back in the past or whatever?
Yeah, the Michael Bay Optimus Prime.
That's fine. I'm here. I'm here for it. Go on.
Well,
go on.
Then he could redo his alt mode into the G1 Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
He had that in Bumblebee,
and yeah, well there you go. So yeah, I reckon time travel for sure.
Yeah, time travel. It solves everything, especially problems of your own making.
I'm sure Unicron is going to send the Terracons back in time, and then they get from their stasis, they're going to have to get the Optimus Primal and Optimus, them because they're in.
Do you know?
That's
Do
all
you know what I
gonna
think would be
happen.
insane? Do you know what I think
What's
would be
that?
insane?
Explosions. Lots of explosions.
No, that's going to happen anyway. No, what would be insane would be if Unicron in Transformers: Rise of the Beast, like we said, Unicron is rumored to be a villain that makes his presence known. It would be mad if he was actually Unicron from the Netflix series. Mm. I mean, we've only seen the barest of flashes. Like, so we're going to talk a little bit about Netflix Kingdom in a few minutes' time, right? But, like, bear in mind, like, there's an entire fucking thread of, like, Galvatron and Unicron and stuff dangling in the Netflix series, and now they're just like, well, we're going to do Beast Wars now as well. It's like, what's going to happen to Galvatron? What's going to happen to Unicron? Like, is Unicron going to be in the Netflix series or not? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they're just going to, like, set him up for the next movie. That would be mad, wouldn't it?
I asked him. He's not saying anything.
No, I mean, he wouldn't. He's a bot of few words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Did he say anything about, like, going to your doom?
No.
You've got to watch him. Don't turn your back on him.
Well, if they're going to have Optimus Primal as a King Kong size, maybe they can. Prime can give him the Matrix, and then he becomes the size of the moon, and he fights Unicron. I mean, Starscream did it once. I mean,
Galvatron tried to do it in Headmasters with, was it Grand Galvatron?
Grand
Whatever,
Galvatron, yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I was just thinking recently when you said, Optimus Prime will be becoming the new leader. That was what sort of made me just say, fuck this with the
I didn't
power
say
of the
that.
Primes.
I didn't say that, but, like, maybe it'll happen.
That was voted in though by the fans though. It was a competition.
Yeah, no, it was just like.
Oh, you mean the
Optimus
new Prime competition? Yeah.
Optimus Primal was like, hey, I'm Optimus Primal. Then he gets reformatted. My name is Optimus Primal. And then he gets reformatted.
He does, in fact, say that in the Netflix trailer.
Okay. He does get reformatted into Optimal Optimus, like the toy that came out, Power of the Primes. And the first thing he says is, "I am Optimal Optimus." I was just like, for fuck's sake, where is the writing in that?
It was a different time.
It was only a couple of years ago.
No, it's a different time, and it's one that we're heading back to now for Rise of the Beast. So, enjoy it.
No,
I think. Oh, look, it's fine. You know what? I'm gonna at least have something positive to say about it, right? Like, I reckon the logo looks fucking cool. Like,
yeah.
If nothing else, I'm just super happy that we don't have, like, the sci-fi blue shiny thing with lens flares on treatment on the logo. It looks great. The Autobot logo looks angry because it's being used as an O. I think it looks great. So,
The Rise is the only thing that's concerning because people have said that movies.
It's true.
Rise.
Historically, any movie that starts with its subtitle starts with "Rise of" something is generally terrible. See Rise of Silver Surfer, Rise of Skywalker, Rise of Rise of the Planet of the Apes is actually good.
I was going to say, yeah, I haven't seen any of those movies, but I did hear that Rise of the Planet of the Apes was pretty good.
The Dark Knight Rises.
I like that movie. There's nothing bad about it.
Also, like, we've changed the rule now by going.
Yeah, anything that has Rise.
We're just picking out movies that have the word Rise. Yeah, no.
Rise of the Triad. I don't know. Anyway.
That's a video game, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yes. Okay.
All right, I think we're stuck in the weeds. I think it might be time that we move on to some.
Let's rise out of this conversation.
Oh my god! Wait. There's one more. Rise of Cobra. Fair enough too. Also from the same fucking toy line or the same studio. So sure. Rob Franklin also says the Predacons terrorize. So will the Terracons will predarize?
Predarize of the beasts.
Yeah, predarize of the beast. Yeah, fair enough. I think.
There you go.
Good job, guys. We've cracked the code. Predarize of the beast.
Well, there's also the fact that
it.
This logo has yellow in it, like Bumblebee.
Rise of the Bumblebees.
Yeah.
Yes.
Flight of the Bumblebees.
Wait, that's
That
different.
could be the music.
Yeah. All right. I think it's time we moved on.
Yeah.
A couple more toy reveals before we finish up for the I say the night, the week. Brand new stuff just got revealed a few hours before we went on air. It is the latest figure in the buzzworthy Bumblebee line. He is a tiny little core class Cybertronian Bumblebee, referencing his appearance in the first episode of the GM1 cartoon. I don't think there's any photos of his alt mode except for the one on the box, which shows his little squished up skiff mode, and he comes with little energon couplings, energy couplings, whatever.
I thought they were earbuds.
Yes. Yeah, you can clean your ears with them if you have trouble. But look, it's the little core class Bumblebee is actually one of the most fun figures that I've seen released in the last few months. So I'm really happy to see them revisit that size scale with another figure. Really happy to see it like a hopefully a decent version of Bumblebee's Cybertronian mode.
We need Wheeljack too.
Yeah. So this discussion was had earlier in another chat group. And I'm like, I gotta say, good luck getting Wheeljack into a product line named Buzzworthy Bumblebee. I don't see it happening. Maybe there'll be something that will happen in one of the future lineups to sort of pair him up, but yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
I was trying to think of a W word beginning with Wheeljack, but I don't think there's anything appropriate for this time slot.
That was the whole point of those rods. He was putting the rods into Wheeljack in the first episode.
Mm.
So there you go.
Yeah, put the rods into something else,
Besides that Wheeljack,
people have lit up about the rods. Mark Jones says, are they inanimate carbon rods? Ben's up on the rods, and anonymous Facebook user is asking why we can't have a 2-pack. Well, look, you can't have a 2-pack because it's been announced as a 1-pack. Like that's what it looks like. So yeah, Jack Worthy Wheeljack. There we go.
Wheel of Fortune Wheeljack. You can get a Burjo moustache.
Oh dear! I thought I'd conquered the '80s references in this show already.
I was going to say, if you want to have a Wheeljack to be in scale with this guy, he would have to be leader class in order to actually fit him in. Because remember, yeah, and then there'll be a third party kit with a black box.
Can we perhaps talk about how his box is like 4 times the size of the figure?
Yeah, and how the background is honeycomb.
Yeah, I mean, like that's not too surprising.
Of the rods, you see.
I do think I actually think there's something up with the box. Like the box looks a bit photoshopped. I don't know, but I do wonder if that's actually something that's come out of the release of the original core figure. Is whether or not he actually needed to be in a bigger box to justify his price point, perhaps. And also, I'm pretty sure that this one is probably going to come in at a deluxe size class.
When you say core figure, do you mean the one that came with Spike, or is there another one that I don't know about?
Yeah, so there's the Buzzworthy Bumblebee, the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line figure that is called Bumblebee and Spike Witwicky. The Bumblebee figure is a core class size. So he should have been $20, but he's paired up with the lump of plastic that is Spike, which adds $10 onto his price, and that makes him $30, which is a deluxe figure. And so, like, they probably should have just packaged him up as a deluxe anyway.
Do you think also this might set a trend for future lines? Instead of having Cybertron Optimus Prime, they'll just have Origin Optimus Prime?
I was wondering that as well. Like, I think we might see the use of the word origin come up a little bit more in the future. Bear in mind, we have just had what was meant to be, all of their Cybertronian modes in War for Cybertron Siege, but I think that we might see more use of the origin moniker going forward.
And also looking at the artwork that's been used on the box, is that all like comic artwork?
No, he's so he's very much evergreen Bumblebee in the CG renders. So like his head doesn't look at all like the G1 figure, and it doesn't really look like the character that they've put in the box either. There is something that I think looks like it's meant to be a still from the cartoon, but I think it's very clearly just it's a new rendition, because that's not what Bumblebee looks like in the cartoon.
That's why I was asking if it was comic stuff, because that just looks like comic, and the bottom left looks like 80s comic Bumblebee.
Maybe I don't think the 80s comic Bumblebee was ever that detailed. But yeah, I think
gold.
I think it's artwork that's meant to evoke evoke those feelings, but I don't think it's actually any particular time period.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to go back to the question, I do think we'll see the words origin used a lot more. Let's remember that the next lineup that's coming up is said to be a trilogy that's called Legacy, and the first year of that is apparently going to be called Evolution. So we might see Origin used a little bit more in the Legacy series. We'll see. We'll find out.
So everything's a trilogy for the last decade or so, isn't it?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to know that they have a sort of a few year plan, but it's just why trilogies?
I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I would really like to see them ditch the trilogies. But I think we've seen this in Prime Wars, and we've seen this in War for Cybertron, is that it's a bit of a catalogue for them to draw figures from and sort of mix them up, retool them, and you can sort of keep a product line going for about 3 years instead of having to reinvent the line once a year and come up with completely new characters. They can do some slight retools to the one that they released last year or the year before and re-release it again, which is what we're about to see with Earth Mode Red Alert. So Red Alert and Sideswipe have both been announced in their Earth modes. We've had a look at them, and that is totally the Siege Lambo that's not a Lambo, but they've retooled it into his Earth mode, and everything old is new again. So I can see why you sort of break your product line down into trilogies, because it lets you do that, and it lets you sort of spread some resources over 3 years instead of 1 or 2.
It sort of gives you a way to age a character, but keep it sort of in the same line, I guess. Yeah. If you sort of release it in one line and then release it again, I don't know. It's weird.
I think at a broader scale too, like they try to sync it up with like the Netflix and all these other various media type things going on, merchandise and all that too. So I think they try and sort of really plan a whole thing in advance as best they can, like the Marvel thing.
They do. That's true. I don't know if the Legends, if the Legacy line is really meant to be sort of bringing in elements from all over the place. I wonder if there might not be supporting media for it. It might be a bit of a quiet time for the supposedly more adult oriented media. They might let War for Cybertron sit on Netflix for a while and hopefully go and lick their wounds and come up with a better plan for future releases. We'll see what happens.
I mean, surely there'll be a follow-up to like Cyberverse, something new on the table.
Well, I don't think Cyberverse doesn't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon. They're doing the TV movies for season 4, and they're continuing to bring out figures. We've seen the Dinobots coming into the Cyberverse line, so I think I think Cyberverse is pretty safe for maybe another year or two yet, but. That show does keep reinventing itself, so never know. They might find one last evolution of it. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, good.
All right, let's move on. There's a couple more news stories to talk about. Alan, you definitely want to come in and talk about this one as well. So, Transformers Heavy Metal has been announced. This is something that kind of goes to things that we saw. A few months ago, when we saw some of these photos and screenshots of an AR location-based Transformers game, and it's just come out in the last couple of weeks. I think at the time I said, oh, like I've played Ingress a lot. I don't know what the mechanics of the game will be like. Well, it turns out that it is in fact the game is going to be made by Niantic, who are the makers of Ingress. They're the makers of Pokemon Go. They're the makers of Harry Potter Wizards Unite. There's a bunch of games that are using the Niantic game engine. I think it's called Lightship. And this will be the most recent of them. So, we're looking at a location-based AR game. You can very much see from the screenshots there that the game owes quite a lot to Pokemon Go, and some of the graphic layouts in there. But there's also going to be a bit of bot-to-bot combat going on, and other things that are gonna happen.
I think they're going to introduce some kind of storyline element too, with when you interact with certain characters. Say like the star screen there, it activates like a storyline mode, something going on. That's my feel.
Maybe you know what people haven't quite connected with this as well is that Flint Dill, who is one of the people responsible for killing Optimus Prime in the '86 Transformers movie, he now works for Niantic.
Wow!
So the Transformers property has come home, possibly to the man who killed Optimus Prime. So I wonder if Flint Dill is going to be involved in the writing and plotting of the Transformers game for Niantic.
I know Prime does feature in it. I know that you go to certain locations and his hologram, like the Bumblebee movie, shows up in a geolocation with the old AR camera, and I think that'll be pretty cool for a lot of people. So I think they're trying to they're not pulling any punches. They've gotten some deals in Japan and various things around, and they've got the testing going on in New Zealand right now.
Yep, you can. So you can get the game if you're in New Zealand. I don't think I've ever been more disappointed to be on this side of the ditch. It was originally reported on TFW today that it was available in Australia and New Zealand. They were wrong. It's only in New Zealand. So I am actively looking for somebody to send me an APK and see if it works in Australia. We'll see how we go.
It'll probably install.
Mark also points out, it'll definitely install. Mark also points out Flint Dill needs to be a playable character that we can all kill repeatedly. Don't know. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, like he brought him back as well. He didn't.
They could have like a mission where the Decepticons are terrorizing humans, and one of them looks like Flint Dill. The only thing is, though, that'll probably be the most failed mission of the whole game. Where no one's like, "I'm not going to rescue him. Fuck off."
Yeah, it'll be like it'll be like the GoldenEye N64 games where it's just like, why is the person that I'm meant to be rescuing walking headlong into danger?
I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think with the success, I think that when Pokemon launched, I was in Japan when they launched Pokemon originally, with everyone in the streets playing Pokemon. And,
Pokemon Go?
Yeah, so
right.
This is. I think they're really, banking on a whole this franchise to really get people out of their houses again with their masks on and start walking wherever they are allowed to within 5 kilometers.
Be like Optimus Prime and wear a mask. Rob Franklin also points out that Flint Dill was also involved in writing the IDW Autocracy trilogy. So yeah, also interesting. I actually did not clock his involvement with those. They were all right, but yeah.
I feel like
There you go, ahead.
I was going to say with the Ingress mechanics, with the whole factions, I felt they could go back a bit more to that with the Autobots and Decepticons. If you choose your side, basically, and it's just the entire Earth is literally geo-mapped as a battle between Autobots and Decepticons.
Yeah,
I could do that.
Could well be. We'll see. The screenshot that we've got on screen, there appears to be some kind of an overlay system going on. So you've got the regular streets, but then there's something overlaid over that seems to possibly
That could be like a
to the system
battleground or
going.
something.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's some kind of a battleground designation.
I'm trying to work out. Have they said like if this is meant to be like G1 inspired, or is it like its own reality? Because
they haven't really said that. So you can see that Starscream is not quite his G1 self. I think there's a better photo of Starscream.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Because it looks like a Cybertron Bumblebee, and I don't know if that's meant to be Bulkhead or Hound.
I think it's meant to be
Hound.
Yeah, I think it's meant to be Hound. Bumblebee appears to be a bit of an amalgamation of Bumblebee looks as well. Like he's also got the doors as wings thing going on. But Starscream is the thing that's easiest to see. And so he seems to have different arm designs than what we've seen. He almost seems to owe a bit to the Bumblebee movie, Starscream.
Yeah, I was gonna say because the chest doesn't look like a G1 canopy. It looks like the Bumblebee movie.
The chest looks like it's a piece that's hanging out over, just very, very, very similar to the Bumblebee movie. It's not clear. It's not clear. I think this is the kind of thing that will become clear in the coming weeks as to which generation they're going to. But yeah.
So one little clue when I was watching some footage of someone playing it was you have obviously a battle with Starscream as the beginning of the game. And at the end of the battle, I think you hurt his foot, and it's done in a way to homage the movie where he hurts his my leg. Just for 1 second, you just got that vibe, and going, okay, there's gonna be little things in there, and that's like
I would expect there to be little nods to lots of different generations throughout the game. I mean, it's the kind of thing that Simon Furman does with Transformers Earth Wars as well, putting particular nods in, and then completely going out and alienating parts of the faction with some of the things that some of the fandom with some of the things that he puts in as well. Hopefully there'll be a little bit less of that go on this way. Maybe it will be under Flint Dill's custodianship. Maybe it won't. We'll find out. Anyway, we don't quite know when it'll become available in Australia. As I said, I'm trying to locate an APK. I also don't know if I do get the APK and install it, whether it will actually work in Australia or if the entire game settings are actually currently locked to New Zealand. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Also, theoretically I have a stay-at-home order, so I probably won't be going out and exploring Mascot with Bumblebee by my side. We'll see how we go. All right, let's move on. Very brief final story. We've been waiting for ages to see what the Beast Transformers would look like in the Netflix War for Cybertron Kingdom series. The series does land in a little over a month on July 29, and we haven't seen anything of the series yet in terms of sort of animations or previews. That has changed this week. But it's only changed in the very, very slightest of ways. Netflix uploaded a new on Netflix video that featured about 10 seconds worth of footage from the cartoon, and there's enough to see in there that Optimus Prime's voice actor hasn't gotten any better. What we're looking at here, the Maximals at least do not appear to be particularly based on the toy CAD designs. There's definite points of inheritance that you can see, but it does look like the figures or the toy designs might not have been quite so heavily used for Kingdom. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And there's a particular character that we haven't seen. I think what did they say on TFW? There's a character we hadn't seen in a while. Is very plainly seen in the the trailer. So yeah. So yeah, unfortunately the video is region locked, so you can't really can't really watch it in America. However, there is someone's mirrored it on YouTube if you go looking for it, and there'll be links to the stories and all that in our show notes. That is it for news. That's that's it for news. Before we go, Mark Jones actually says, "Is it the Machinima Primal?" I don't think so.
Cloud.
Maybe. What's going on?
No, my dog just came to say hello, and as soon as I grab the camera, he vanishes.
Is it Schrodinger's dog?
No, he does exist.
Yeah. point the camera at the dog, and he goes. Yeah. Mark Jones did ask, "Is it the Machinima Primal?" I don't think it is. But Ben Seamer also says it's the terrible primal voice, so maybe it is. Who knows?
That looks promising.
I think the Machinima voice was Ron Perlman.
Oh God, really? I wish it was Ron Perlman.
He didn't sound great.
Yeah. I mean,
it was probably done over a phone call.
He literally phoned.
I think it was done over a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
So look, that video's out there. We won't talk too much about it because it'll spoil things. And with a month to go until it launches, everyone will want to avoid spoilers. Well, a lot of people will want to avoid spoilers. I will just say that of all of the Transformers series that I've seen, it looks like at launch, War for Cybertron Kingdom will definitely be the most recent one that I've watched.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, because this will be the closest you've come to actually watching Beast Wars.
It's true.
Wouldn't it be funny if this is a screenshot from the final episode when they just show up at the end?
Oh dear.
Oh God.
Thanks a bunch, Alan. All right.
Yeah.
Now that unpleasantness is done, it is time to talk new acquisitions. Now, Alan, it's been a while since we've had you on the show, so there's plenty of time for you to have acquired acquisitions. Do you want to choose one or two things to show us that are new to your collection?
All right. How about I can go over there and get one? Have you seen this guy? Well, can I get him? There he is.
This is going well, everyone.
Yeah.
There he is. You seen this one? Let me put this
no,
back on.
because you're gonna have to hold it.
Here he is.
We haven't seen it because you're gonna have to hold it up. That's Star Convoy. Is it Star Convoy or is it?
Yep. This is the Ocular Max Star Convoy. I have.
Well, we definitely haven't seen that. Yeah, nice, very nice.
They basically took the G1 toy and literally made him fully articulated. Fully articulated. So, Ocular
I
Max.
haven't seen very much of this.
I don't think a lot of people. I pre-ordered it, and a lot of people probably didn't know it was coming out. And I'll tell you now, it's real. I've added a couple of extra little stickers and things on it for myself, but it's their first larger scale. They've done a lot of smaller scale, as in masterpiece scale, but this is definitely side by side. The fully he hasn't got the electronics like the original one, but he has got rubber. And there is some die cast in there, bit of weight. Highly recommended. It's quite big. So that is one of my recent primes for the Prime Shrine. So big I haven't figured out how to get him in the Prime Shrine yet.
I was actually just wondering this, but yeah.
I've just been out here enjoying him. But that is my latest Optimus Prime. He's very much like the original masterpiece. Sorry, he was a bit. The legs are compacted. Yeah, he's even bigger. There you go.
He is. Yeah. It's funny what happens when you stand up straight, isn't it?
Yeah, you shrink.
And the one I got today was just the old.
Good old Kingdom Huffer. He's such a great figure.
I got him because I was a big fan of the G1, and I think it's just a great updated. I do have a third-party masterpiece scale in my collection, but this could have passed. I think he's really good. I agree. I've put his little claw extension on his back there. You know, it almost makes him look like, you know, Cybertronian mode one. That, you know, I like that idea too. So that was my one today. I got a big W. Oh, I also got the Transformers Battlegrounds game for $15, and
yeah, it's on discount at the moment on it's PlayStation and Xbox, right?
Yeah, I got the. So I thought, well,
it's also on sale at stores, so fair enough.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, something I want to chuck on at some point to, you know, it's got co-op. So, you know, if you want just a bit of fun with somebody to play, it's obviously you know, not as epic in scale as some of the past Transformers games but you know, for $15, I'll have that in my collection. Why not?
Yeah, fair enough too. I think I commented on your post today, and I said that a lot of the criticism that was leveled at the game when it was released was based on the fact that it sort of feels like a mobile game but released with a console game price point. So bringing that down to, I think some platforms it's $20, some platforms it's $15. That really makes it a much nicer, more palatable option, I think.
Yeah, I think that's your money's worth right there, really, for what they put into it. But yeah, I'm happy to do that. So I was happy to get that.
Very nice.
Bradley.
Things, yeah. Oh no, we're not done.
No, that'll do.
Done. All right, Bradley. You mentioned earlier that you've got a few new acquisitions. I will just say I don't really. I do have a couple of acquisitions, but mine will be pretty quick. So have at it.
Well, I'm just going to go over these pretty quick because of how long we've been going. I do have Commander Rodimus Prime, but the robot's actually in the display cabinet. My friend that buys stuff in retail stores when he sees them dropped by a couple of weeks ago and dropped off what he's found. So I've got Inferno and Three of a Kind. I've got the Huffer now.
yes, Yay. One of us.
I got the Decius Army drone.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
Simply because I wanted the Quintessons to have a bit more of a presence on the shelf. I got Netflix Cheetor. Simply because it's a better color scheme than the.
So you've got the Netflix Cheetor there in front of you, and you saw the image earlier on the screen. Like, does he look that much like the character, like the toy, or let me bring him back up. Like, if I can make this.
Different beast eyes.
Yeah, well, so the Netflix wait, what happened? There we go. The Netflix guy's got green eyes, doesn't he?
Yeah, the toy has green eyes, but the one we're looking at in the preview image for the Netflix series has orange eyes, like the regular retail release.
Good one, guys.
Yeah.
Also, looking at this now, you can actually see that Cheetor and Tigatron are actually the same model, just resized.
Yeah. Yeah. And last but not least, Air Razor.
Oh, very nice. Air Razor is getting quite a lot of praise from the community.
Yeah,
so very happy
I've also seen a lot of people having trouble finding her, unfortunately, but I'm glad to have her.
I actually saw several of her today in Big W and in Kmart stores. So I think perhaps there's been a bit of a trickle on the releases, but I think they're turning up in more stores now.
Okay, cool. What have you got, Jason?
What have I got? It's been a few weeks since we've done a show now. I don't quite recall if I showed these guys on the last episode or not. No. So what we have here is it's either a botcon or a subscription service. I'm not quite sure which. Elita 1. And look, let's be honest, she is one hell of a shell former, just like the figure that she was a repaint from. But so I decided that I liked pink Transformers, so I grabbed her when she came up for sale in the group. And the same seller that was she's going to fall over. The same seller was also selling the Razor Claw from the same year. Now, this is probably one of the first characters that I've got of this vintage, and like it's really pretty nice. Like everything's got ratchets. Listen to everything move around there, and like it's all pretty cool. Everything's gonna click in, and everything moves and clicks in a very, very satisfying way. So, and did you hear that click? Yeah, right. The only sacrifice is any of the like articulation, like ankle tilts and stuff, is just not there. But it is what it is. It's a product of its time, and it's pretty fun. So, just I like to have a different collection on my shelves than what a lot of other people look like. So like that's why I've got a lot of the subscription service figures, a lot of the bot content figures, and so when I see things like that come up, I'll also tend to go for Gen Selects over the retail releases, except where the retail releases are so few and far between that I can't help it, because I just need to get something new into the collection.
I'm just curious, what does that Alita 1 turn into?
She's like a gunboat kind of thing.
Okay.
Things flip down there. She's a massive shell former, but and that's shell former, not shelf warmer. But
Oh, it's not too bad.
She's still pretty fun, and also like I love the craziness of this massive gun. The gun the gun uses the Cyber Planet key, stunningly designed in pink, and all of her projectile weapons are nice transparent blue. So pink and blue going with the color scheme is very nice. So those are. Do I have any other new acquisitions? Oh, I do. Hold on a second. I'll just let me bring up the photos of her from the Supernova gallery, because she's still actually.
You acquired a girlfriend?
that would be surprising on a number of levels.
Yeah.
But let's go here. I did get the Ocular Max Eris Culture. And she's still in the box outside because I packed her up after Supernova. But I've got some photos here of her on the stand, and so this is essentially, as we've been calling her, she's Lady Tarn. She's the female equivalent from a different parallel universe. Seems extremely prescient of them to release this basically the week that Loki did certain things on Disney Plus, but she's fantastic. She's really well articulated. There's lots of parts that move. The only problem I think is probably the hands are just sort of held together with friction. There's no pins in them, but the fingers are fully articulated, so she can do the end of the road Galvatron pose. That's not her. And so you see there, she can reach out. So this is essentially, it's an Ocular Max release, but it's not the Ocular Max Perfection series. So it's the first of a new series. They're calling it the Infinite series. I think Infinite or Infinity series. And the idea is that it's essentially sort of MMC's kind of take on Shadowglass, where they're going to do alternate versions of particular characters, whether it's a gender swap or something else. She's fantastic. She really is great. The tank treads that you can see on her forearm there and on her back, the tank treads work. Like they move around. So in battle tank mode, like she rolls around on tank treads. It's fantastic. It's really good.
Okay, so she does actually transform. That's cool.
She certainly does. She actually comes in tank mode, but all of the photos on the stand are from her in bot mode, because she was standing along with the rest of the Lost Light crew.
Cool.
So yeah, that is it. That's my acquisitions for the week. I think we're about done. Brief bit of TCCA club news. We are coming up to the end of the membership year. It has been an absolutely bumper membership year, and thank you to everyone who's signed up for memberships. We will be in touch in the coming weeks about renewals and new membership offers for 2021. We do have some membership cards. We've got new membership bonuses and things to go into member packs for 2021 and excuse me, 2021 and 2022. So we'll have a new membership offering coming up shortly. I'm going to post a bit of a state of TCCA and just give people a bit of an idea about what we've done over the last 12 months, the money that we've raised for charity. I'm going to put a number on the number of figures that I've acquired and mailed out for people.
Oh, and that in the quadruple digits or triple digits?
I'm pretty sure it's in the three digits.
Okay.
I don't think it's in the quadruples, but I will just say that I have an order for 50 Earth mode red alerts coming in, so like it could certainly get to triple digits. I think it's possible. I brought in 70. I'll take out the screen share. I brought in 70 Earthrise thrusts in the last year, and 50 red alerts. Like that's two figures, and that's putting us well into the hundreds. So
yeah.
I think it's fun. I've got a spreadsheet that tracks all of this stuff, so like it's silly to have a spreadsheet and not get the stats and the numbers out of it. So, yeah.
I was gonna say, so you're gonna do like piece counts, yeah? So you're not gonna count like the Pit of Judgment as 5 different toys.
Well, I don't think it matters because I didn't bring the Pit of Judgment in for people. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's all right. I can neatly sidestep that argument, and I'm not going to subscribe to any argument or any discussion about any counting systems or anything like that. Silly. Don't do that. Don't do it.
You've already done it, haven't you?
I have. Yeah, it's all done. Yeah. It's. I mean, look. My spreadsheet game has gotten really good in the last year. Okay. All right,
I think you get as much enjoyment out of it as we. You get as much enjoyment out of doing the spreadsheets as we do out of getting the toys.
It's true. I have nice little color codes things on the spreadsheet. Anyone who's a TCCA member who's been watching the stock and the interest lists, they will have seen the several generations of evolution that the stock tracker has gone through in the last not even 12 months. It's more like 9 months. So yeah. Mm. All right, that is it. We've been going long enough, so it's time to bring everything to a close. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening, everyone. If you've been watching along with the live record, thank you for checking us out. You can find out more about these stories and more. There'll be links to them in the show notes. You can get in touch with us. We love hearing from listeners. We love seeing the live comments coming in. We haven't put too many of them up tonight. I'm sorry, but we do enjoy seeing them. You can find the podcast on transformersweekly.podbean.com. You can find the Facebook page Australian Transformers Weekly, and the three of us. You can find us and interact with us and friend us and chat with us on the Transformers Collectors Club Australia group on Facebook. We are a production of Transformers Collectors Club Australia. We're a registered club in Victoria run by volunteers donating their time, effort, energy, and sometimes money to make the club better for everyone. Our goal is to connect Transformers fans around the country. We do it by engaging the collecting community. We publish podcasts like this. We go to Supernova like that, and we like to go out and meet people and talk to them about Transformers. You find out more information about the benefits of TCCA membership, such as getting Earthrise Thrust for a reasonable price. Sorry, but they're all gone. Or how to show your support for what we do at transformerscca.com. Going off world, you can find Transformers Collectors Club Australia also on Twitter at TransformersCCA. You can find me on Twitter at JM77, and Bradley, we can find you on Twitch at Groovy Guy Gaming. And let's have a follow account update.
Follow account update. Currently sitting on 1,267 followers.
That's great. It was. I think it was about 1,050 last time we checked in, wasn't it?
I think it was 1,100 something. But according to Twitch, with their very generous overinflation, once you hit 50, it rounds up to 100. So according to Twitch, I'm at 1.3k followers.
Excellent. Very good. Alan, we need to talk about including links to your off-world stuff if there's any to publish. But we'll
I have people occasionally following my my Zombie Optimus custom creation page every once in a while. Then needs a bit of an update, but that's my only other thing.
Do you want to give us a link to it? Is it Zombie Optimus on Facebook?
Yeah.
All right.
And you can hit me up on the group, and I'll send you a link. It's all good.
Fair enough. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching live. Thank you for giving us your time on a Friday night, everyone. That is it from us. We will be back with more Transformers news. Maybe next week. Actually, probably next week because Sydney will be in lockdown.
Let's just say we'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. You might hear from my friend Ivan Reitman. He's fantastic. He's a genius.
He's a genius.
It's a